You're not going to start that Kyun rubbish where you're trying to convert me, are you?
No.
What's so funny about that?
You aren't really Vidithari material.
What's that mean? I could be a Vivi, one of those things. Bloody good one, too.
Isn't right.
There was a fight here. Men. And something big. This could be tied to that Avar bear. No corpse and no cart to carry a bear. Wherever it isn't far. is this where Kenrick's assistant was headed?
To see this. Inquisitor! I was going to send word. I found something. This inscription, almost completely faded, but... 2 stood. Felt 60 true before our triumph. A breath in the hunt, and let rest the lowlanders, worthy of the lady's care. The markings and surrounding artifacts date to Ameridan's time. The references and scripts suggest Avar.
What's your theory?
I need to complete a full survey and have Professor Kenrick evaluate the site himself. But this may be a tribute to Heron and Orina, Inquisitor Ameridan's companions.
What can you tell me about Orina?
Orina was an alchemist in Orzammar. It's said she met Ameridan while dealing with a demon, but it's not known why Ameridan was there. Demons aren't common in the deep roads, but they were a problem for the Inquisition at the time. Orina knew she could help, so she joined Ameridan.
If she left Orzammar, that would make her a surfacer.
She turned her back on the stone, though it's said she had few regrets. Some claim she was actually from one of Orzammar's noble families, but who can say? She never used her last name on the surface, and once exiled, the family likely struck her name from personal documents. Professor Kenrick petitioned Orzammar's Shaperate to grant access to their records, but the request was turned down.
What will you do with this information?
Professor Kenrick will expect detailed notes on the location, stone and clay samples, and any trace artifacts I can find. If Ameridan's history is compiled, this could be worth an entire chapter. I might get credit on the inside cover.
What makes you think the inscription refers to Heron and Orina?
It's only a theory, but the age of the markings and surrounding artifacts match the timeline we've established for Ameridan. I found glass fragments in the clay, several with slight veins of discoloration. Blue. Like Templar artifacts.
Templars?
The Templars were a new order in Ameridan's time. Given their small numbers then, few would be found outside the Chantry's reach. It's unusual to find one deep in uncharted territory, unless he traveled here for a purpose, as Heron would have.
You don't think the inscription could refer to Ameridan himself?
It's possible, but Ameridan would have been recognized as a leader, which the inscription might have noted out of respect. And a breath in the hunt? Why note that your hunt continues unless your remaining prey was someone important?
What happened here?
An encounter with ancient Avar, and not a friendly one. Ameridan and his companions were outnumbered in an unfamiliar place. If Ameridan's not here, perhaps someone bought him the time needed to keep going?
If this is the resting place of Heron and Orina, it only remains because the Avar took time to honor them.
Respect for a worthy adversary? It wouldn't be out of place.
What do you know about Heron?
When the Templar Order was first formed, Sir Heron was among its members. He's arguably the most famous of the original Templars, though he was never one of their leaders. He's better known as one of Inquisitor Ameridan's confidants. They'd known each other since youth.
So they were close. Friends.
When Ameridan was made Inquisitor, Heron's position in his inner circle was assumed. A few ballads about them survive. The type with adventures and happy endings. I don't know if they're true. They remind me of my brothers, though.
Thank you, Colette.
Inquisitor.
leave some supplies here.
That Dunnage yet lives while I was so certain of his passing. The Maker smiles on this endeavor.
Your scribe Dunnage mentioned something called the Nox Morta.
Ah, yes. I have yet to lay eyes upon it. Pray do not request details so soon. Not when concrete evidence lies yet unturned.
I've evidence of your Nox Morta, I think.
Yes. To observe the mark of the teeth. Let me see. Good and good. But this, a beast unclassified and interested in the bait presented. What lies before us is an opportunity to greet the unknowable. Yet I confess fear, knowing I lack the skill to confront it. Surely Andraste's herald does not share my limitation. If you would take the bait and confirm its existence, I would be in the Inquisition's debt.
What can you tell me about the Nox Morta?
Mere scraps of knowledge gleaned from bloodstained papers. They speak of a creature enamored of shadow lurking in the darkest places. Silence pays it favor, concealing its awed bulk until a stretched mouth takes its prey. Of course, some of my colleagues deem the beast a mere fancy.
I should go.
Inquisitor.
Goat-kissing, blood-drinking, Hackenite chicken crabs! Thank you, Inquisitor. Storvacker has returned. My hunters saw what you and she did to the Hackenites who held her. In trapping Storvacker, the jaws of Hakon broke their peace oath with Stonebear Hold. Our blades are yours.
We welcome the help.
More than you know, Inquisitor. My hunters brought items back from where they held Storvacker. I know what they intended. It is not something you will like. Something few Avar would tell Lowlanders. But you must hear it. The jaws of Hakon sought to bind their god in mortal form and bring war to the Lowlands.
By saving your bear, have we put an end to their plans?
Though you have given them pause, they will try again. Ages ago, the old jaws of Hakon did the same. They brought their god to life to destroy the lowlands. Their foolishness lost Hakon to all Avar. Now they would free him and begin again.
What did you mean when you said that their foolishness lost Hakon to all Avar?
When they bound Hakon to mortal form, he became blood of this world. He could hear no prayers, nor speak to the augurs. All he could do was kill. Then he vanished instead of dying, as though rendered mute, lost for ages. If they sought to free him from mortal form, I could understand. Making him attack the lowlands is a fool's work.
The Avar wouldn't like the idea of war with the lowlands.
Is that what your skulls say? It does us no harm to be feared. If our land is threatened, we will happily fight. And a raid here and there keeps both sides sharp. But we have no need of your lowlands. Not when our goats are fat and our fish are plenty. And not when the sky is torn with demons. Only a fool fights in a burning boat.
What would happen if the Jaws of Hakon succeeded in their plan?
Hakon would come to the lowlands in the form of a great beast. The Hakonites would join him, their numbers swelled by foolish young warriors dreaming of honor names. Even if war were needed, it should not be like that. With gods wreaking havoc in blood-soaked fields, the gods should stay where they belong.
Based on what we know, what must we do to stop the Jaws of Hakon?
Their hold is an old lowlander fortress. It is shielded by a great wall of ice. Magic even the Hakonites do not know. Unravel its magic, and we will scatter their bones so the lady never finds them.
We still need a way to melt the wall of ice around the Hakonites' fortress. Do you have any ideas?
No. It is lowlander magic and nothing to do with us. Our spirit talkers are useless as battle goats. The Hakonites must have found the magic in the old fortress. Speak to your people. Perhaps they will know more.
I'll speak with you later.
Heard you. Not half bad on the hunt, either.
The offer... Still, I rep...
What did I tell you? Lowlanders from the north.
Why do they dress like that? Seems colder than it should. Greetings, stranger.
See any wares you like?
Be welcome.
I met a mage in the woods who said she used to be an augur's apprentice.
Sigrid Goldstone. She left the hold when I told her she must release her teacher.
Aren't you her teacher?
She might have heeded me if I were. Oh, perhaps not. It's time the spirit in her was free.
She's possessed? An abomination?
Every mage in the hold is made one with the gods till they're strong enough. I thought Sigrid strong enough. Exile was her own notion.
Why did Sigrid go into exile?
Sigrid built an altar by the shore for her rite of thanksgiving, a ritual to part her from her teacher. Sigrid claims her offering was spurned by the gods. The spirit remains with her, and she's taken to exile.
I'd like to ask something.
Then ask.
You let spirits possess your mages on purpose?
What better teacher than one woven from magic? The spirits in the hold have helped us in this way for hundreds of years. Once a mage masters their powers, their teacher departs. Duty ended. Unless the mage is weak.
What happens to these weak mages?
Their teachers stay with them, and the other gods watch them both, so neither soul turns sick. If one does sicken, other mage stands in risk of harming the hold. One day, they do not wake in their bed. It is very sad. It is what must be done.
No one thinks this is right, right?
You mean you let a spirit...
It is kinder than what happens in many mage circles.
Greetings, stranger.
What did I tell you? Lowlanders from the north.
Why do they dress like that?
Let's look around. This is the place the augur said that mage, Sigrid, tried and failed to release her spirit. It looks like the tools for her ritual are still here. Scorch marks. Left by magic.
Residual magic. Someone was casting a spell that was interrupted. Or stopped.
Maybe Sigrid never completed this ritual. While delirium.
If a mage was performing a ritual to part with a spirit, she may have needed to replenish her strength.
Why is the vial still full?
You returned.
The augur told me why you're here.
That Chatterjay. What business is it of his to tell that to a lowlander?
About the ritual you were performing, Sigrid.
I had to burn a proper offering, then let my guiding spirit free. I made the offering, the gods did not accept.
I found a bird and incense by the altar. They weren't burnt at all.
I brought more than I needed. When I fled, I left everything.
You would have needed to take the lyrium at the start of the ritual, not the end.
Aye. And so?
The vial I found was full.
Do you accuse me, stranger?
Perhaps it would be easier to confess what happened to a stranger than to your people.
So even a stranger senses my shame. I made no offering. I prepared. I began the spell to release the spirit here with me.
And?
I could not do it. I have no close companions in the hold, no kin. I cannot lose my only friend.
You're friends with this spirit?
It has taught me with patience and kindness since I was a child. Frightened of the fire I could suddenly call down.
A great comfort. But you are no longer a child.
Some mages need the help of a god all their lives.
Very well. Perhaps, however, ask yourself if it is help you need, or companionship.
I do not want to lose the one who loves me.
It would be hard to let go of such a unique friendship.
It is. Yet I swore an oath. I think the Augur knew. All this time he knew I never cast the ritual. It is not right to stay in pity. I will confess to him.
It's for the best. Maybe the Augur will help you release your spirit friend.
I do not need his help. I would ask for his advice. Farewell, Lowlander. You returned.
The Mortizan said to place the bait here. We need to find a good spot.
Think it's something big? Hope it's something big. What the?
Some sort of bog fisher.
Yeah! Brilliant!
Fisher. Ever.
The Mortisan will want to hear about this.
Pray, do not keep me in suspense. Your haunted stare speaks plainly of an encounter with the Nox Morta.
What can you tell me about the Nox Morta?
Mere scraps of knowledge gleaned from bloodstained papers. Of course, some of my colleagues...
Is the Nox Morta a bog fisher by any chance? A large, aggressive bog fisher?
Bog fisher. That quaint nomenclature inadequately describes its lesser kin. Here is whom they must serve.
Why didn't you...
I told them to have proof of its existence. Minds shall be enlightened. So when enlightenment comes at the cost of such fearful truths, I must wonder at its toll. Permit my humble gratitude to reflect the risk taken, your worship. Where's Dunnage? I must draft a letter to the university.
I should go.
Inquisitor.